LEGO has made a lot of sets in its long history, but they've also cancelled a lot of sets. So in today's video I want to do a deep dive on LEGO's most notorious and lesser known cancelled sets of its history, and taking a look back at what could have been. Now sadly, because there is a lot of cancelled LEGO sets, and I mean just a absolute ridiculous amount of cancelled LEGO sets, I can't talk about them all in this video. The video would be like 3 hours. Trust me, I tried on a previous take. It didn't work out. The video is actually like an hour and a half long. So I'm just gonna talk about some of the more interesting cancelled LEGO sets. Do I really need to talk about the Batcopter Batwolf from the LEGO Batman movie? Actually, yes I do. This set goes hard. It should have been made. Make this, please. We're so tired of Batman sets nowadays, but this is an exception. We need the Batwolf to be a real set, because this is actually peak. Probably the most well-known cancelled LEGO set is the Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, which just saying that has probably brought back war flashbacks, and probably has an argument stirring in the comments. This set was supposed to come out in 2023 along with all of the other Indiana Jones sets when they briefly brought that theme back for like a month. And of course it was supposed to be based off the Temple of Doom movie, but it never came out, and that caused the entire LEGO community to absolutely lose their minds, to the point where people are still hoping that it may release to this day. So think about it like LEGO's version of Half-Life 3. Like, it's never gonna happen, but there's still people out there hoping it will happen. And that's just kind of sad, to be honest. Now, the reason this set was cancelled doesn't seem to actually be because of LEGO, which seems counterproductive. It's a LEGO set. Why would anyone else other than LEGO cancel it? Well, it seems like big boy Disney just stomped in and said this set isn't happening, and we have a bit of evidence from that. For one, why would LEGO fully, produce, make box art for, and seemingly get ready to ship a set that they end up canceling last minute? It doesn't really make any sense. For how far along the design process was, to the point where on the other Indiana Jones sets when they were first revealed, the Temple of Doom was still in the description of those sets, like it was still ready, like it was going to come out, but it got pulled last minute. So why would LEGO spend all that time making a set just to pull it last minute? Well, considering a lot of other Temple of Doom merch that was supposed to release in that same year from other companies, like Hasbro's Mola Ram figure, were also cancelled at around the same time. And it seems like Disney just wanted to avoid any controversy with this movie, which is really weird because this entire franchise is about Nazis. I feel like you could make an exception for Mola Ram, but I mean, okay, sure. One of the other most well-known cancelled LEGO sets is the Batmobile Flash Tracking. This was based off that god-awful Flash movie with Ezra Miller as the lead. I bet you forgot all about that movie, but Snyder Bros definitely haven't. This set was supposed to include 3 minifigures, that being Michael Keaton's Batman, or Man, the Flash in a new suit, and a brand new Supergirl minifigure, which would only be the second ever time getting Supergirl, I believe, which is a real shame that minifigure never happened. That would have been a really cool one, to be honest. And of course, the Keaton Batmobile. Now, when I said this set was cancelled, I'd lie to you. It was kind of repurposed. See, after Ezra Miller became a menace in Hawaii, LEGO didn't really want to associate with that movie. Fair enough, to be honest, that guy sucks really badly. So they just kind of took the set and repurposed it into the Keaton Batmobile we got in 2023 but instead of having Flash and Supergirl, they just replaced them with a generic Joker minifigure. Now, funny enough, the Flash minifigure did leak onto the market at some point, and I think was sold at some point. I genuinely don't know how someone got a hold of it, but yeah, it seems like someone has the minifigure now, and whoever's collection has that is, they're a pretty lucky fella, to say the least. Genuinely, we would be here all day if we talked about all of the cancelled LEGO Dimensions stuff. Although probably the saddest cancelled LEGO Dimensions set is the Lord Vortex Fun Pack. This was supposed to be a little fun pack including the main villain of the game, Lord Vortek. And fairly recently, last month, we got a leak of what this minifigure was supposed to look like. And, well, it looks so beautiful. Granted, he doesn't have translucent skin like in the game, he has solid blue, but I feel like that works just fine, and that new mold for his helmet piece, oh, that would have gone so hard. It is actually a big shame that this minifigure never came out. It seems like they made new pieces for this one and everything, so it really sucks that it never saw the light of day, and all of that budget that went into making this minifigure didn't end up going anywhere. That kind of just stinks. This one really should have been made. It also would have been a really cool send-off to LEGO Dimensions. Hold up! Stop the video! If you're enjoying the video right now, if you're enjoying it so far, you got this far in and you're liking the style of editing, you're liking the video, I would like for you, yes you, to do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. If you could look down at the little number down there, we are inching ever so close to 1,000 subscribers. I've been doing this for nearly 6 years now, and it's always been my goal to get to 1,000 subscribers, which sounds really sad saying that out loud, but I mean, hey, you gotta start somewhere. I've been wanting to get to it for a long time, and we are closer than ever. So if you're liking this video and you want to help me out and subscribe, go right ahead. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything. You cannot watch another video of mine ever, but just subscribe so that we can finally hit 1,000 subscribers, and this goal that I've been working on for nearly 6 years can finally be completed. Alright, thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Back to the video. Everybody's least favorite thing, LEGO Star Wars, also has a long history of canceled LEGO sets, including a Watto bust, which is just absolutely hilarious. This is in the same style of the Darth Maul bust, but after that reportedly underperformed, it seems like LEGO got extremely scared and decided not to release the Glub Shido bust, which, to be honest, that kind of sucks because this would have been a top 10 LEGO Star Wars set, to be honest. The set slaps. There was one LEGO designer interview or, like, podcast thingy which had, like, a bunch of canceled sets just inexplicably in the background, including a Star Wars collab with Ninjago with Ninjago spinner elements, which is just so weird. How did that happen? Why was that happening? I have absolutely no idea, but it seems like LEGO decided that wasn't a great idea. Genuinely, I don't know what they were thinking with that one. It just seemed weird. There was also a single-piece Watto in consideration for a while. A lot of canceled Watto stuff, it seems. This seems completely cursed. We got, like, Watto miniature, like, Watto Warhammer mini. It's just so goofy. I kind of wish it did happen, though. You guys want to see something cool? Boom. Yeah, so there was a bunch of canceled Galador stuff. If you aren't aware, Galador is probably one of LEGO's worst themes of all time. They basically just tried to become action figures, but with no sauce. I made a video on them back at the beginning of the year, but good lord, are these maybe even more cursed. Some of these designs, man, I don't know what they were cooking. Like, what am I looking at? Why does that bike have a shark head? Is that even a shark head? I don't know what is happening here, but I think we could all say that it is a good thing that we got the Toamata instead of these. Like, that would have been a dark reality. That would have been a really dark reality if we got these instead of the Toamata. Everyone's actually favorite theme, Ninjago, also has a lot of canceled sets under its belt. Like the Ghost Mech, which was supposed to be a legacy remake of that Ghost Mech from the OG Titan Mech. Which makes sense because we got a legacy remake of Zane's Titan Mech, so getting a legacy remake of the Ghost Mech would only make sense. Sadly though, LEGO decided to pass up on this amazing opportunity and make the Overlord Dragon instead, which, I mean, like, okay, the Overlord Dragon's a cool set, but honestly, I would have preferred this. The set kinda goes hard. And it also would have gone so well with Zane's Titan Mech. They should have made this. Actually, on the topic of Ninjago, there was a lot of cancelled, like, ideas for what would eventually become Ninjago. And there's some very interesting stuff in this concept art, including like a TMNT ripoff, but like with like dragons. I don't know what this was supposed to be. The scene was originally supposed to be called Future Ninjas, from what I can concur, and there's a lot of weird ideas, including something that looks suspiciously like Bionicle. I don't know what that's about, but that looks pretty sick. Now, not every idea here was lost. The evil ninja concept that you can see in a few of these was later reused for the rebooted line of stuff with the like cyborg ninja guys, which is pretty cool to still see some elements of this old, forgotten, like, prototype for Ninjago still, like, seeping through, right? And not gonna lie, it is really cool to see the origins of what is now Ninjago. And to round out Ninjago, I want to talk about the Monastery of Ice, which we do actually kind of have a picture of. We have some looks at some of the minifigures, which have these cool skeleton guys, which are actually just normal skeleton guys with ice swords, and a pretty sick looking temple in the background. To be honest, Ninjago, like, location sets seem to always be bangers, so I am really sad this set never came out. It also would have been a cool Zane set overall, and you know, I just wish we got something like this. Getting off track of Ninjago and onto Shima of all things, there was a lot of cancelled Shima stuff, including an entire idea for another wave of Shima, that being nature-based. We have an image of a concept of one of these guys where in this storyline, nature would come alive because everyone's being annoying and fighting in their land, so the trees would literally come alive and start beating people up, which I find absolutely hilarious. This would have been actually kind of peak. I'm really sad this didn't happen. Maybe not as peak as like the fire and ice stuff, but this aesthetic I always love. Gives me like Beard vibes, you know? I just feel like these would have gone hard. Especially with like the deer head and the green antlers coming out and like the green energy surrounding these guys. Like, dude, come on. Come on, we should have gotten this. We really should have gotten this. Like, this would have been so good. Oh my god. And we're back to things being very, very cursed. Cybots was a cancelled LEGO theme, which, from the very little info we have, is absolutely horrifying. This is like a Galador 2. What were they thinking with this? It just looks so bad. I don't know why, at this era, LEGO was just on a mission to make the ugliest sets known to man. Like, they could make cool sets. They had the technology to make cool sets, but they just didn't. They refused to make cool sets. Why would you make this? Something good did come out of Cybots, however. It seemed to have been where the ball joint originated, which is something I never knew I wanted an answer to, the origin of the ball joint, but apparently its origins can be linked back to the cancelled Cybots theme, which is interesting, to say the least. So, thank you, Cybots, for allowing ball joints to exist, but that's weird. That's really weird. I would not. This is such a weird thing, man. Like, what happened here? How did this happen? And to round everything out, I want to talk about superheroes. Everybody loves superheroes, and there's a lot of cancelled LEGO superhero stuff out there, including a cancelled Marvel/DC CMF series that was supposed to be made way long before. Way long ago, back when the scenes originally happened in like the early 2010s. Now, we did end up getting Marvel CMF series later on down the line, but the concept images, which I actually don't know if I can show because they have a giant confidential watermark on them, are using the original, like, SDCC Iron Man without the helmet, with, like, just a printed-on mask. So, like, this was, like, way before, like, back when they were first like, making LEGO Marvel sets or deciding what they were gonna do with LEGO Marvel sets, they were thinking about making a CMF. And I really wonder what would have happened if they actually went through with that. Would we have actually gotten the Fantastic Four? Because back then they didn't really have an issue with making the Fantastic Four. So I feel like we would have gotten a lot of, like, the LEGO Marvel Superheroes 1 roster. That's not been confirmed, by the way. I'm just spitballing there, but I really feel like there was a lot of potential with that, which sadly will never be realized. In a similar vein, they were going to make a X-Mansion playset back in the mid-2010s, which, yes please. We've been wanting an X-Mansion set for a long time. We did get the, like, UCS X-Mansion, kind of, like, the modular one, but that one is really overpriced and, like, pretty alright. It's not bad, but it's not, like, amazing either. But this was supposed to be in the same style as the Arkham playset from back in the mid-2010s as well. I am really sad that this didn't come out. If you could tell, I'm a giant X-Men fan, and this would have been so peak. This is another chance to get those LEGO Marvel Superheroes 1 designs for all of the X-Men, which we got a few of. Like, we got Magneto, we got Wolverine, we got Deadpool. But, like, that old design for, like, Jean Grey, Iceman, Gambit, like, we could have had all of these minifigures over a decade ago. Which is kind of sad to think about, but at least we're getting them now. At least we're getting them now. I guess that's better than nothing. Okay, at least we're getting them now. It seems like LEGO in the early 2010s were really obsessed with the X-Men, but none of their sets ever came out. Because around that same time, we were also supposed to get an Ultra build of Wolverine. Now, the Ultra builds were a weird thing. They're like, kind of like Bionicle, but for Marvel. We had like Iron Man, Captain America, and Hulk, I'm pretty sure, were the three that actually came out. And they've been pretty widely mocked by everyone. No one really likes them. But a Wolverine one, to be honest, would have been really, really cool. And I'm kind of sad it never came out. Didn't look like he had his mask, though. It seems like he was maskless. But, I mean, am I too sad this set doesn't exist now? Not really, but like, again, so much potential with the X-Men, and it seems like LEGO was actually going to, like, go full on into the X-Men, but they just didn't for some reason. Whether that was Disney's choice or whatever, I don't know, but it does kind of suck that there's so many canceled LEGO X-Men sets out there. And to round out this video, I want to talk about a set that isn't really superheroes related, but it doesn't really fit anywhere else in this video. A Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ninjago collab. Yep, another Ninjago collab. First it was Star Wars, now it's TMNT. This wasn't really a Ninjago collab, it was just taking the spinner format and yoinking it to another scene. This is supposed to be a spinner battle between Leonardo and a foot soldier. And it was supposed to have a pretty cool, like, purple spinner with versus a pretty sick looking gray and red spinner, which would have been really cool. Sadly, the set never came out, and its set number was weirdly used for this Batman set. I don't know why, I don't know how that happened, but there you go, there's your TMNT Spinjitzu battle set. Now, there's plenty more canceled LEGO sets, like probably like 200 more that I don't have the time to talk about in this video. So if you guys like this video and you would like to see a part 2 of this video where I talk about even more canceled LEGO sets, go right ahead and like and subscribe. I also want to, again, preface how much I would love if you could subscribe to the channel. I know I'm begging. I am very much aware that I am begging for subscribers here, but we are so close to 1,000. And if we got that by the end of the year, it would genuinely make my year. It's been a goal I've been working on for a long time. So if you want to subscribe, please think about doing so. That's all I really have for you today. See you all next time. Bye bye.